Since the filing of this case, the proponents of Proposition 8 have been forced to constantly seek correction of Judge Von Walker's rulings. Twice by the Ninth Circuit and once by the U.S. Supreme Court, a trifecta of serious errors were corrected. In the fourth and most recent instance, the California Supreme Court unanimously disagreed with Judge Walker's doubts that the proponents possessed even the mere ability to appeal his decision. Today, the proponents of Proposition 8 are unfortunately required to yet seek more corrections of the district court. Judges, as the most visible players of our judicial system, must always act with the highest levels of professionalism. In this case, where the district court gave its sworn assurance that videotapes of the trial proceedings would be used only in chambers and not for public broadcasting or televising, litigants and the public must be able to trust the representations of the court. Unfortunately, that trust was broken. So that the public has confidence in our judicial system, judges must apply the law in a way that avoids even the mere appearance of partiality. Impartiality is a cornerstone of the judiciary. Thus, the Supreme Court has long been clear that no man can be a judge in his own case. This rule, to it, there are no exceptions. Thus, no reasonable person would be in error to believe that Judge Walker, in ruling that he and his longtime partner may now receive a marriage license anywhere in the state of California, appears to have ruled in his own case. Now, after blatantly ignoring and not even mentioning in his opinion binding Supreme Court precedent, as well as controlling precedent of the Ninth Circuit, Judge Walker added to his many errors by reneging on his own promise to the public and the parties regarding the video of the trial. By appearing to rule as a judge over his own case, Judge Walker violated the most basic and fundamental principles of the judiciary. Coupling that fact with his refusal to even acknowledge binding precedent from both the Supreme Court and the Ninth Circuit, along with his broken promises about what he would not do with the video of the trial proceedings, there can be no quarrel that his actions in this matter fall well beyond any acceptable standard for a federal judge or of any other officer of the court. For all these reasons, the only reasonable course of action remains for the Ninth Circuit to fully vacate Judge Walker's decision and order that the case be retried by a neutral judge, one who has no direct and substantial personal interest in the outcome, two, whose impartiality cannot be reasonably questioned, and three, who has demonstrated a record of fidelity to the law, including binding precedent of the Supreme Court and the Ninth Circuit. The videos possessed by the plaintiffs and Judge Walker must also be returned to the court, where they should remain under seal. We'll take a few questions. Yes, sir.
There was an argument being made on the other end, basically that this would basically disqualify any minority judge from presiding over civil rights cases involving minorities. Explain that and why that's not what you're asking for.
Well, I think Mr. Cooper made that very clear in his argument, and the standard articulated by the Supreme Court is that no judge can rule in his own case. And in this particular instance, a reasonable person, having knowledge of all the facts, as Mr. Cooper made clear, might conclude that Judge Walker did in fact rule in his own case, and his failure to disclose facts, along with everything else that has happened in this case, the multiple errors, the broken promises regarding the videotapes, the failure to adhere to binding Supreme Court precedent, obviously raises the specter of impropriety. Anything else?
Given that, I think that one of the other points they were trying to make was that you're saying that he presided over his own case, but has he sought to get married since the case or any time prior or even now?
Well, the standard is not what is in his own mind. The standard is whether a reasonable person may believe that the judge was impartial or acted with partiality. And so the judges are required to act and avoid any appearance of impropriety. That's a cornerstone of the judicial system. If the public cannot have confidence and is constantly raising questions about what judges are doing, there could be no justice. And the fact that there's even a debate about this is conclusive of the fact that there is an appearance of impropriety in this case, and we believe that the decision should be vacated. Thank you.